No one has ever feared or trembled before the name of Elissar Il'tan, a boy with no name, rejected by society and raised in the wilderness, out of pity. Elissar was born in the midst of the spell plague. He was one of the many victims of the magic cataclysm caused by the death of Mystra, and consequently, the destruction of Mystra's weave. In a stroke of fortune, or perhaps guided by destiny, he was discovered abandoned on a road by Eldraine, a prominent individual within the noble Faerûn family. She, who was a member of the family's high Druid circle, took pity on the abandoned baby and chose to raise him as her own. The identity and whereabouts of his biological parents remains unknown. Elissar's body is covered by dark and protrude veins, as well as purple spots. One of his eyes is completely black as one big and dark vein comes out of it. At the age of 5, Eldraine left Elissar in the care of the Druids, who trained him until he reached adulthood. He was taught by the Druids in the ways of Gwaron Windstrom, his Patreon deity. Eldraine frequently came to visit him from time to time. She was always on the road amidst nature and used to tell him stories of a sacred holy place, the source of life or the fountain of youth, a place made by the gods that, if found, could grant eternal life and cure all afflictions known. The few contacts he had with civilization were traumatic due to his appearance. Whenever someone asks him why he has difficulties trusting other humans, he would say, "By chance, would a hungry wolf refrain from biting you out of pity?" However, all the mistrust he has for most humans turns into trust when it comes to respecting the Faerûn family. He always admired Eldraine Faerûn, who loved and took care of him, even thought he was rejected since birth. Eldraine used to say,
"The true heritage that comes from the Faerûn family does not come only from our name, but lies also in our noble ancient blood. The dew, the trees, the oaks and the wild spirits whispers at night, the canaries, the birds, the wolves and the magical beasts as well. They wait for the silver shadows of the moon to appear so they can whisper about the plots the Faerûn family hatches in the darkness. Chariots run the fields meanwhile humble servants bow to our presence. We own castles and fortress, battleships that crosses the oceans because they fear our name and can sense the power we have in our noble blood. You, my dear son, may not have the name nor the blood, but will always have our constant protection to guide you."
After his training as a druid, Elissar began to travel through the northern regions of Faerûn, accompanied by his mother's troop, living amidst nature and searching for the promised place, a great way to escape those who might eventually harm him and to find a cure for his own curse. However, one day, Eldraine Faerûn died in a fierce conflict in which Elissar was not present. Unable to even bid farewell, he remained faithful to his quest for years on end. Years and years had gone by, and although Elissar had looked everywhere for even a glimpse of a clue of the holy place, he has never found anything more than words, promises, or dead ends. And after many years, as he grew older, the drive to find the promised place became increasingly distant due to successive years of unsuccessful searching. He remains on the quest, but both age and hope slowly slip away from him. As a consequence, his constant, aimless wanderings gave him extensive knowledge of the northern region, making him a well-known local guide in the northern Faerûn. Recently, House Faerûn, through the Dragonlance Guild, contacted Elissar in search of his services. The contact was facilitated due to his connection with Eldraine. After the first of his jobs, a family member ends up handing him a diary of Eldraine Faerûn as a reward. This event shakes Elissar's lost hopes. A life that seemed to be lost in aimless wandering suddenly seems to find meaning again. However, the fear of the words that may be written and the reasons behind Eldraine's death torment the old druid, who until now has not had the courage to read his mother's diary to the end, fearing what he might discover. The first pages, which he managed to read, still trembling, revealed that the existence of the sacred place is real, and therefore Elissar renews his adventurous spirit with his new companions, becoming a more active mercenary in the group known as the Impure. Born from the plague, Elissar seeks the balance of nature and has both fear and respect for the magic of arcane nature. He has learned to trust more in himself and the creatures of the forest than in humans. His limited contact with civilization was filled with events where people saw him as an aberration, which helped distance him from organized society, but not from the humans who accepted him. As a herbalist, he usually makes his own pain remedies and often uses mild hallucinogens to alleviate his own suffering. It is not uncommon for him to offer a mushroom to a fellow traveler, and from time to time, he enjoys smoking a pipe. Besides the deformities and old age, he is a tall, slender man, yet stooped and seemingly having difficulty walking and even speaking. The malformation of his body has left deep scars. He is always draped in animal skins, his body covered but his face exposed. When he smiles, it is possible to see some yellow teeth, as he lost most of them. His hair is long and white, with a large, unkempt beard, and uses a wood staff as support for walking. With a renewed hope, now Elissar walks throughout Faerûn in search of the Fountain of Youth, and looking to uncover who led his mother to her cruel fate.